Hi there. How is it going? This time we are going to learn and discuss determiner in English. Are you ready? Let's get started. What is a determiner? A determiner is a word placed in front of a noun to specify quantity. For example, one dog, many dogs, my dog, that dog, the dog. The words one, many, my, that, and the used in the examples are called determiners because they specify the quantity of the dog. Now let's talk about the type of determiner. All determiners can be classified as one of the following: article, a or an, and the; demonstrative, such as this, that, these, and those; possessive, such as my, your, his, her, its, our, and their; quantifier, such as many, much, more, most, and some. Let's see one by one. Articles. The articles are the words, such as a, an, and the. They define whether something is specific or unspecific. There are two types of article. They are the definite article, that is the, and the indefinite article. They are a and an. The definite article, those called the definite article. It defines its noun as something specific. That is, something previously mentioned or known, something unique, something being identified by the speaker. For example, this is the lake. This is a previously specified lake, in which it is one already known to the readers. The indefinite article, a and an. While a and an are called the indefinite articles, they define a noun as something unspecific. That is, something generic or something mentioned for the first time. For example, this is a lake. It means, this is a previously unspecified lake. Key points. Bear in mind these rules. Number 1. Use an before a vowel sound and a before a consonant sound. For example, he bought a house in an hour. House and hour start with the same letter H, but house attracts a and hour attracts an. It happens because house starts with a consonant sound, while hour starts with a vowel sound. So, once again, use an before a vowel sound and a before a consonant sound. In other words, not letter but the sound. Number 2. An and a can only be used before a singular noun. For examples, she gave an oranges. My mother told me stories. These two sentences are incorrect because oranges and stories are plural. In fact, we have to use articles, a and an, for singular nouns. So, to correct these sentences, they must be: she gave me an orange, and my mother told me a story. And this is the second type of determiner, that is, demonstratives. The demonstrative determiners, in which it is also known as demonstrative adjectives in traditional grammar, are this, that, these, and those. A demonstrative determiner defines where its noun or pronoun is in relation to the speaker. This and these define close things, or they are used to define near things in terms of distance, psychological closeness, or time, while that and those define distant things. Examples: this dog is so cute. That dog is so cute. Key points. Singular demonstrative. This and that. They are used to refer to a single person or thing, in which this is used to refer to things close by, and that is used to refer to things far away. While plural demonstrative. These and those. They are used to refer to more than one persons or things, in which these is used to refer to nearby things, and those is used to refer to faraway objects. See these examples. This dog is so cute. That dog is so cute. In this example, this and that are used because there is only one dog. In other words, dog is singular. While for plural demonstrative, these dogs are so cute. Those dogs are so cute. In these examples, these and those are used because there are more than one dogs. In other words, dogs are plural. Here is the third type of determiner, that is, possessives. The possessive determiners, known as possessive adjectives in traditional grammar, are my, your, his, her, its, our, and their. A possessive determiner sits before a noun or a pronoun to show who or what owns it. Examples of possessive determiners. In the examples below, the nouns being modified are in bold, colored, and italicized. I do not choose that my grave should be dug while I am still alive. If you want peace, you don't talk to your friends. You talk to your enemies. If a man could have half of his wishes, he would double his troubles. She got her looks from her father. He's a plastic surgeon. Worry never robs tomorrow of its sorrow. It only saps today of its joy. How we spend our days is how we spend our lives. Men are like steel. When they lose their temper, they lose their worth. And now we are discussing quantifiers. Any determiner that refers, even loosely, to an amount or a quantity can be classified as a quantifier. So, numbers, 1 dog, 2 dogs, are quantifiers. Quantifiers usage is divided into 3 categories. They are for countable nouns, uncountable nouns, and for both countable and uncountable nouns. See the table. Here are the kinds of quantifier and their usage. Only with uncountable nouns. A little, much, a bit of, a great deal of, a large amount of. With countable and uncountable noun. No, none, not any. Some, any. A lot of, lots of, plenty of. Only with countable nouns. A few, many, a number of, several, a great number of, a large number of. And here's some examples of they are used in the sentences. Would you like some tea and a few cookies? I always put a little milk and some carrots in my soup. He has several apples. I don't have any fruit at all. She has plenty of clothes for the winter. I received a large amount of feedback from my survey. Alright, that's all our discussion relating to determiner. By the way, don't forget to support me by subscribe if you haven't. Thanks and ta-ta.